Hey guys, I'm back again with another deck profile because last time I made one it was illegal. I had a brain fart and I had one too many Charge of the Light Brigades in the deck. So after I realized that, I took it out. Basically what happened is I looked at it, I was like, why am I only running one? So I put another one in and then later I realized, oh wait, that's why. Makes more sense this way. Okay, so I'm going to try to be quick. The video reached 100 views, which I expected it to get maybe 40. So I'm going to try it again. This time it's legal. It's a little bit different than last time, but I'll tell you what I took out for what, and it's all just in testing right now. So yeah, here we go. Start off, we got two Goblin Zombies. I want another Secret Rare because they're shiny, and I like shiny. But they're really good in this deck. They search out pretty much anything you want to search out as far as your zombies go. And there's multiple ways. You can either synchro summon with them, you could tribute summon with them, which there's only one monster you can tribute with. You can enemy controller, which I'm a huge fan of enemy controller in this deck. But yeah, anytime you send to the graveyard, search out a zombie with 1200 or less defense, add it to your hand. And he's at level 4, which really helps your rank 4 plays, and this deck puts out rank 4s like none other. So, yeah. Next up is Pyramid Turtle. Anytime he's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, I get to special summon a zombie with 2000 or less defense, which is literally any zombie. So if he's destroyed, you set him, blows up, you can either bring out another Pyramid Turtle, or bring out Endless Decay, or you can summon him, suicide into another monster, bring out Endless Decay, run him over. I find that really helpful, and I've done that multiple times, and it pisses people off. So yeah. Next up is Zombie Master. I've never liked running him at 2, but sometimes you just gotta make room, and because he's so searchable with Pyramid Turtle and Goblin Zombie, you can't afford to run him at 2, so that's where it's helpful. Next up, one of the cards I took out the 2 Lila and the Charge of the Light Brigade for these guys. With this guy in your deck, you can literally go into 4 rank 4s and have an extra monster by the end of 1 turn as long as you have the right setup. You detach a material from an Xyz monster you control and special summon a target, or special summon as a zombie from your graveyard that's level 4. So you can do some crazy stuff with it. It's pretty great. I love it. So yeah, it's fun. I took out the Lilas. I'm trying this out. I don't know if I'm going to keep it this way, but the reason why I took out the Lilas is because I just could not mill anything that would help me. So it just really kind of got on my nerves, so I'm trying these guys out. But yeah, I replaced 2 Lilas and a Charge. They're both in my side deck, which I may show you just because it's small, it's not finished, but it's kind of there. Next up is 3 Mizukis, because Mizuki at 3 is good. Banish him from the graveyard, special summon a zombie from your graveyard, plus he's a level 4. He's also searchable with Goblin Zombie, Pyramid Turtle. He's searchable with any of your searchers except Tour Guide, which she's technically not a zombie, so, it doesn't matter. But, yeah, 17 attack, which is always nice, and, yeah, he's good. And he's level 4, makes your ranks 4 plays, I probably already said that. Moving on, alright. Now, onto the non-zombies. We've got 3 Tour Guides, because I do a lot of banishing, and I like to go into Leviair. And a Tour Bus, because I make Lavalval Chain really early game, and more often than not, he's destroyed. So I like to bring him back and reuse him for later on. So yeah, there's that. Next, some of them are zombies. Here's 2 zombies. These are the cards I only run 1 of. 1 Endless Decay, 1 Plague Spreader. I could run 2. I think he's at 3. I'm not going to quote myself on that one. But yeah, Endless Decay, when he's summoned, he's half of your opponent's life points, which is nice, because early game he's 4k, late game he's a wasted card. So, you can decide him out, you can keep him in, whatever you want. He's nice. I like him. Plague Spreader, he's good for your synchro summoning. I've got some synchros in my extra deck, and he's really easy to grab with literally anything from Foolish to Lavalval Chain to Turtle to Goblin Zombie. So he's good for synchro summoning. Next up, my other 2 boss monsters, BLS and Dark Armed Dragon. BLS, technically I should not be running him because I took the Lilas out, but because I've got some lights in my extra deck that are too easy to make, there's really no reason why I shouldn't. And then Dark Armed Dragon, there's a lot of graveyard manipulation in this deck. So he's really easy to grab and pull off. And yeah, so that's why I'm keeping him. Next on to the spells. 2 Book of Lives. 3, I wouldn't run 3 unless I was running Summoner Monk, which I have done at one point, and it did help the deck out. But Book of Life is a Monster Reborn and a DD Crow. You special summon a monster, banish one of your opponents. The only time it's really dead is if your opponent doesn't have anything in grave. So that becomes a pain in the butt. But it's nice because, you know, you can mess up their plays while, you know, helping yours. It's a fun card. Next is the card I've been told to take out of this deck a million times. Enemy Controller. You can either tribute a monster to take control of one of your opponents, or just change one of your opponent's battle positions. I like using it on like Goblin Zombie or a Dead Exceed that I have. Makes things fun, makes things easy, and it helps me go into other things, so it's nice. Next up, 2 MSTs, because you can't not run MST. You know, there's just too many things out there that really get in the way. I'd run more, but you know, this deck is really thin, or really tight as it is. I don't like going over 40. I think I was going over 40 before, but I like to stay at a solid 40. It's easy, and I like it, so I'm going to stay at 40 as close as I can. But if I were to put in another card, I'd definitely throw in another MST, because they're just so nice to top deck, and they're so nice just to have there, and you know, it's funny when your opponent MST is an MST. Yeah. Next up are my 1-ofs and spells. I've got 1 Allure of Darkness because I can bring stuff back from the Vanish area, and this deck doesn't really have much draw power, so the Allure of Darkness really helps. Burial from a different dimension, because I banish my Bazookies a lot, so it's nice to throw them back in the graveyard and reuse them over and over and over again. I can also use them for Plague Spreaders, or if my opponent banishes something with like Dimensional Prism or something like that. This actually helps out a lot. Dark Hole, because I don't mind my stuff being in the grave half the time, so this helps out a lot. Foolish Burial, because it's a zombie deck, and if you're not running Foolish Burial, then you're very foolish. Bad pun of the day, there we go. So yeah, send a card from your deck to the graveyard, Mizuki, Zombie Master, whatever you need, it helps. Onto the traps. I run 2 of each of my traps, except for Bottomless and Torrential, because you can only run 1 of. I run 2 Black Horn Heavens, because it's been my favorite trap ever since I found out about it. I'm not a huge fan of Warning, because you have to pay life points. I'm not saying Warning's bad. I'm just saying I'd rather run Black Horn of Heaven. People are going to try to go into Exceeds and Synchros, and this will stop it. It doesn't stop as much as Solemn Warning does, but this will stop the Exceed and Synchro plays, which are really big in this format and pretty much any formats anymore. So yeah. Next up are 2 Mirror Force, because there are those times when I don't really know what else I have, so I'll just, oh hey, Mirror Force, bam, blown up. Yeah, because Mirror Force, I think Mirror Force is at 3 now. Once again, don't quote me. I really need to keep up on the ban list a little bit better, as you can see. But yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it. It's fun. Next up, 2 Trap Stuns, because when I'm about to make a really big play, it's nice to not have to worry about warnings or judgments or mirror forces or dimensional prisons or anything like that. This just helps me. I mean, yes, I run a lot of traps, but because I run a lot of traps, I will not run Royal Decree. And this, it's just nicer to be able to go, bam. That's it. So it's nice. Next up, wiretaps. I'm trying out the wiretaps right now. I know they're really big in this format, but I'm just trying them out at this point. I replaced them with 2 Call of the Haunted, or replaced 2 Call of the Haunteds with these. I really like my Call of the Haunted, so I don't know if I'm gonna keep these or not. We'll see. 1 Bottomless Trap Hold, because it's another summon negation, which is nice, and you can only run 1 anyway, so yeah, there's that. And then a Torrential Tribute, because if they summon something while I got a set Goblin Zombie, I plus. You know, I get the search off of Goblin Zombie, which usually I'll go for Zombie Master, and then bring back the Goblin Zombie and an overlay for rank 4 and yada yada yada. That's always nice. Alright, so that's it for my main deck. Onto my extra deck. 1 Leviair, because I run the tour guides in Leviair. I actually threw in here. Somebody told me about that, and I was like, oh, that actually really work. And it really does, because I can grab my Mizukis and overlay with them, It's really nice. It's fun. Mech Equipped Engineer. I'm trying it out. See how it worked. It's a good card, but I don't know if it really works in the deck. That's why I'm trying it out. We'll see how it goes. I have another rank 3, which I'll see in about a couple seconds. But they're for the times where Tour Guide is dead. Like, it's too early in the game to go for Leviair, but I really have no other play, so I'll go for this or Ghost Trick Alucard. He's nice, he's fun, and he destroys set stuff, which is always nice. So yeah. On to my rank 4s. Lavalval Chain, probably the most expensive card in my deck. I was lucky in a trade with a friend of mine. He helped send my stuff to the graveyard. I honestly don't think, ever since I've gotten him, I've ever used his effect to put a card onto the top of my deck. But he's really nice because he sends my Bazookies, he sends my Zombie Masters, my Onis, you know, just whatever I need, he'll send it, and I can make plays off of that. Gaga Cowboy, because there are those times when you need a new Kazi for game, and he helps you make that happen. So yeah. Steelstorm Roach, I'd probably take this out for Exciton Knight, or I think it's C101 or something like that, but this is what I have for right now, and I'm using it, and I rarely ever make Roach, but he's there if I need him. Diamond Dyer, because Diamond Dyer is really helpful from times. I know I have no beasts in the deck, but you know, I can use him to pop himself and pop something else, and half the time at that point I'll have a Mizuki and Zombie Master engrave, so I can continue to make plays from there. Black Ship of Corn, you know, it's a Black Ship of Corn. It makes sense all on its own. It destroys stuff that just, you know, sit in your way, like Marshmallow, Spirit Reaper, Zen Mines, and other stuff that I just need to get rid of. And he deals 1,000 points of damage, so it's nice. Vylon to Sigma, it requires 3, so it's a little bit harder for me to get out, but if I got the right setup, it's not that big of an issue. So, I do make this every now and then. It's not my most common Exceed. Some of the most common is probably Lavalval Chain, but he's still really helpful, and he's still really good. Yeah, that's it for my Exceeds. Now on to my Synchros. Orient Dragon, because sometimes there's a Synchro that's getting in my way, and this helps me get rid of it. Revive King Hades. He's really fun, actually. He requires Plague Spreader Zombie and a level 4 Zombie-type monster, but he negates the effect of effect monsters destroyed by battle with Zombie-type monsters I control. So, basically, if I run over a Mizuki, the effect, his Revive King Hades' effect follows it. So, my opponent won't be able to use that Mizuki's effect later, or Necrogardna, or just anything that would activate in the grave. If a zombie monster I control destroys it while I have Hades, it won't be able to use later, which really is helpful, especially mirror matches and stuff like that, which nobody else really runs zombies around here. So yeah, he's still fun, and he's an option for making 6s, because I use my 6s to get up to 8s. Here's another one, Powered Inzektron. He can't be destroyed the turn he's Synchro Summoned, so that's really helpful. Plus he's got a 25 base, which is nice. But yeah. Next up, Stardust Dragon, because occasionally I do like to go into Stardust. I honestly don't really do it that much. Like I said, there's a lot of cards in this deck I would replace if I could, but I just don't have the resources to do it just yet. Next up, Scrap Dragon, because he's Scrap Dragon, I can kill stuff to kill stuff. And Red Dragon Archfiend. So, my side deck, I'm going to have to be really quick because my phone's about to run out of memory. 2 Lilas, a Charge, and 2 Call the Haunteds, and then a Kasha. So, yeah. That's my deck list. I'm sorry for the brain fart I made earlier. I hope you enjoyed the deck. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And, yeah. Any comments, questions, leave in the comments below. I appreciate any input. And y'all have a great day.